The sterile smell of antiseptic filled the hospital room as I stood by my father's bed. The heart monitor's steady beeping a constant reminder of his dwindling time. Sarah and I watched him, our faces etched with worry and sadness. I reached out to hold Sarah's hand, seeking comfort in the midst of our father's final moments. "Dad," Sarah whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "Is there anything you need to say to us? Anything at all?" Dad's eyes, once sharp and commanding, now glinted with a strange, malevolent light. He motioned for us to come closer. "Yes, there is," he rasped, his voice unexpectedly strong. "There are things you need to know before I go." Sarah and I exchanged uneasy glances but leaned in, eager to hear his final words. "I hated you both," Dad began bluntly, causing us to recoil in shock. "From the moment you were born, you were a burden, a stain on my perfect life." "Dad, what are you saying?" I stammered, disbelief and pain mixing in my voice. His lips curled into a cruel smile. "I hated you so much that I made it my mission to ruin your lives. And I succeeded. It was mere child's play, actually." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "What are you talking about? You always said you wanted the best for us, that you were pushing us to be better." Dad chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. "Is that what you thought? I lied. Let me humor you." He turned his gaze to me. "Remember that scholarship you applied for in high school? The one that could have sent you to any university you wanted? I made a few calls, ensured that your application was lost. Instead, you had to settle for that third-rate college, didn't you?" My face went pale as the memory resurfaced. "You did that? But why?" "Because I could," he replied coldly. "And because I enjoyed watching you squirm. If I could do it again, I'd crush your dreams again." He then shifted his focus to Sarah. "And you, dear Sarah, that art exhibit you worked so hard for, the one that could have launched your career. It was me who convinced the gallery owner to reject your work, said it was subpar, not worth the space." Sarah gasped, tears streaming down her face. "You destroyed my dream. Just for your own satisfaction?" "Exactly," Dad said with a sneer. "And let's not forget your relationships. Michael, that girlfriend you were so serious about. What was her name? Wendy, right? Well, I paid her to leave you. Told her to break your heart and send me the audio to sip my wine and smoke my cigars. It was sweet music to my ears. Your weak cries was the chef's kiss. I clenched my fists, my body trembling with rage. You ruined my life, Dad. Why?" Dad's smile faded. "Because I could. Because I wanted to see you fail. Because every time I looked at you, I saw my own weaknesses. I wanted to crush them, to crush you." The room fell into a stunned silence, the air thick with the weight of Dad's confession. Sarah and I stood frozen, our minds reeling from the revelation of our father's deliberate cruelty. But Dad wasn't finished. His eyes narrowed as he looked at me. "There's one more thing you need to know, Michael. Your wife, Rachel, your precious, loyal wife." My face twisted in confusion and dread. "What about Rachel?" Dad's grin returned, more wicked than ever. "I got her pregnant." My breath caught in my throat. "What? No, that's impossible. You're lying." "Oh, it's quite true. We did it in your bed. How else could I tell you that her birthmark was on her upper thigh, left thigh, I think. Hell, I can't remember because she was always ass up, spread wide, back arched, begging me for more, over and over again." Dad continued, relishing our horror. "Your son, Whittle Alex, isn't just your son. He's also your brother. I made sure Rachel knew exactly who held the power in this family." Sarah and I stared at him, unable to comprehend the enormity of the betrayal. You monster," Sarah whispered, barely able to speak. Dad's breathing grew more labored, but he forced out his final words. I hated your mother too, you know. She was a constant reminder of everything I despised, and you two looked just like her. Every time I saw your faces, I saw her. I couldn't stand it. The room grew colder, the atmosphere thick with the weight of his malevolence. Sarah's voice shook as she asked, "Why did you marry her then? Why have children at all?" Dad's eyes glinted with a dark satisfaction. It was never about love or family. It was about control and appearances. I needed the perfect family to climb the social ladder. Once I had what I wanted, you were all just obstacles. His breathing became more labored, but he managed a final, twisted smile. I hope this truth haunts you for the rest of your miserable lives. I enjoyed every moment of your suffering. With that, Frank Dawson took his final breath, a twisted smile on his lips. The heart monitor flatlined, its steady beat cutting through the silence.